Hey y'all, it's your girl Claudia Jordan, and we are back with TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready to sip on this hot tea. Please welcome the fellas. Please welcome Al Reynolds. Hello, Al.
What's going on, Claudia?
Hey, and please welcome Armand Wiggins. What's up, Armand?
Hey, I'm here. I'm
We are
checking in.
we are here to have a good show and to have a lot of fun tonight and to turn up. How was everybody's weekend? Did y'all get into anything fun? Al?
Nothing fun for me. I was preparing to come back east. This is, the last few classes for my students at Boise State University. So I had to keep it calm and easy so I can get on that plane and get back over here.
All right, Armand, how was your weekend?
It was pretty good. Some of my friends came into town, met up with some people. We went to some day parties. I lost my voice. But yeah, it was a good time. Whenever you lose your voice over the weekend, that means you had a real good time. Oh, yes, I popped out over the weekend. I had a good time. It was fun.
Okay, photo shoot. This weekend I did go to the casino one day. That didn't end so well. Yeah. But I was working in Houston on another movie. I've actually done 3 movies in the past month and a half. And that one I have a blue wig on. I was set up and you'll see what happens in the movie. O'Shea Russell from All the Queen's Men was on the show, on the movie, and he was excellent. He did a great job, and he's a very handsome man. And the entire film crew was really nice. So shout out to Joe and Houston, the director, and my girl Missy Lee holding it down. She's still working out there, but we had a good time, and things have been kind of rolling. Like now, like they're asking me to come in as a producer on other projects, so things have been really good. Okay, so let's have a drink. Anybody drinking tonight?
Ciao, it's tea for me.
Oh, because you done ran it to the ground. Huh?
Yes, it's honey and tea for me today.
Al, you drinking?
Yeah, I'm doing my buttery Chardonnay, of course. My good old Monday favorite go-to.
I feel like we switched spots. Al, this was you last week, and then I was drinking, and then you was drinking tea, and now we didn't switch because your voice was switching.
That's because y'all be doing. That's because y'all be doing too much. Okay, moderation. Then you're able to. Real quick, I just want to say before the show gets started, tonight is the finale of Deal or No Deal Island. I got my case right here, case number 1. This was my case I chose, and I didn't really end too well for me. But Deal or No Deal Island, the finale is tonight on NBC. So after Chi, not now, but after Chi, go over to NBC and watch the show and see who wins and how much money they took home. And it did get renewed for season 2. So congratulations, NBC. You're doing your thing. Okay. With that being said, it is time for less of the setup and more of the diving into the topics and having a good old time. All right, let's get into it. Howard University was forced to cancel their graduation for the nursing program due to the venue reaching capacity. Let's take a look at the chaos that led to the cancellation. Unfortunately, the graduates were not able to walk during last Thursday's ceremony, but they were honored at a graduation ceremony that was held at Capital One Arena on Saturday. All right, what are your thoughts on this situation? And do you think the graduates were still robbed of this special moment on Thursday? Alice, go to you.
Oh, come on, HBCUs. Come on, Howard. I think 2 things can be true at the same time in this particular case. Number 1 is Howard should have known better with the School of Nursing. They said this was their largest graduating class ever. So in my opinion, they should have issued a ticket and then had an attendance policy like most universities do, especially for the main graduation as well as for the department graduation. Instead, they decided to go with the first come, first serve method. And what happens in that case is that once you reach capacity, that's what it is. It's capacity. Now, so I hold them accountable for that. Now, should they be held accountable or booed or talked bad about because they were in a very unsafe situation? We've seen these types of capacity issues that happen. Nothing good really comes from those. And I think they absolutely did the right thing by shutting it down and not letting anybody else in, because look at what happened. A busted window, a person was injured. Also, we can look at Astroworld and a number of other things that we've covered here on this platform. When things are over capacity, it just could lead to something traumatic, and I like that they got in front of it instead of behind it.
All right, Armand, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I agree with Al. I feel like they definitely dropped the ball with not having tickets. But then too, on the flip side, it was first come, first serve. So it lets you know, like some of the family members, you got to be on time. And then two, you don't go and tell your auntie, your cousin, your grandma, this one, that one, and the third, because they gave them 3 to 4 tickets per graduate. People were adding on more people, so you have to be considerate to things like that, because this is how things like that you get to capacity, and now everyone's upset. The graduation, people have traveled far and wide, and they didn't even get to see their family. So I think it was a mistake on both ends, but I really think that they should have definitely had those tickets to just stop all of this.
Yeah, it seems like poor planning. I mean, it's not like the school doesn't know how many people that are graduating, but I guess then the students, on the other hand, they did invite too many people. It's a sad situation. I hate that it happens to an HBCU, and I hate that when we have to report negative news on an HBCU, because I think we already have our backs against the wall in other areas. So hope they get it right for next year, y'all. Big venue. Speaking of cancellations, the aunties in Atlanta were upset after Anita Baker canceled her concert 15 minutes before showtime. Check this out.
We was on our way to see Anita Baker, and she canceled last minute after sitting in the traffic for an hour, going downtown, parking.
Anita Baker,
Maybe next time.
my idol.
Anita's reps have yet to respond to the reasoning behind the last-minute cancellation. What do you think is going on with Anita? And do you think it's time for her to officially retire? Armand, what do you think about this? This is not the first time.
Yeah, I just kind of feel like this is way too close. Like, it's almost like, woman, were you even there at the venue? I mean, 15 minutes before the show is a little bit OD. And then for the reps not to say anything, it just seems a little disrespectful. So at first I was trying to give her grace, like, hey, maybe the lady went through something could have happened. But the fact that the reps haven't came out and apologized or made any statement, I mean, it's disrespectful, honestly. And so they need to make this right.
All right, Al, what are your thoughts?
Listen, retire never. No, not yet. As long as that woman be more respectful to her fans and the people that support her and allow her to keep doing it at this age, absolutely. And I mean responsibility, because the least you could do, Anita, the least you could do is give us an explanation why. People not only drive from other locations, but they come from other states. That's an airplane ticket. That's a hotel room. That's Uber to the venue. That's gas if you're driving. That's parking, like the guy said. That's dinner to make your friends hang out. And it's an experience, because that's what Anita Baker provides. So for her to just be like, sure, I find that disrespectful and not taking responsibility. So Anita Baker, retire, no, but do better, yes.
If you don't want to do your job, then don't do it and leave. But don't have people paying good money for your services for you to not show up or cancel on them 15 minutes before. I think this is extremely disrespectful. I think we continue to make excuses for this woman because we have, we have nostalgia for what this great talent that she was. She's proven over the last 3 years, at least, she's been very disrespectful to fans, being late, not showing up when she's supposed to, talking. Who gets in beef with Babyface? The most non-problematic person in the business. Anita Baker had beef with him. It's Anita Baker at this point. And I hate to say this because I love Caught Up in the Rapture of Love and all those great love songs and songs that she made. But she is a grouchy woman, the way she's coming across. The way she's cussing out the audience and getting all ornery with them. Anita, come on. These people that buy your tickets and fly from different cities and support you is why you have the lifestyle that you have. And if you don't want to deliver and to cancel 50 minutes, think about the people that had to get childcare, the people that had to use vacation days, and you 15 minutes, at least give somebody 24 hours to be like, you know what, something's going on with me. It's giving, I don't give a damn about my supporters. That's what it's giving. If you don't want to do your job, no one is forcing you to take these millions or these hundreds of thousands, get up out of the way and make room for someone that wants to be there. That's what I say. I think this is tragic. And I'm sorry I have to do this to you, Anita Baker, but hey, man, we got to keep the same energy. Just like Lauryn Hill. Jesse said she's like Lauryn Hill. I remember I hosted something with Lauryn Hill on New Year's Eve. I knew she was going to be late and make us miss the countdown. She was 4 hours late in New York City. 4 hours late. You are disrespecting your supporters. That's what you're doing.
Lauryn Hill and Anita Baker definitely have to be, their insurance policy around their music venues and their concert has to be off the charts. Both of those women have done this multiple times, in which left their fans stranded or not happy and wanting their money back. I wonder, and I really do wonder from a business perspective, how much of the income that they make goes to the insurance of their music venues.
And I just want to give a little bit of grace for this. If there was a health concern or something like that, I will take back everything I said about this show, but this ain't the first time. You know what I mean? Like, everyone, listen, if she had a health concern, I want to be respectful of that. But if it's just like more of the same that we've been getting, I think it's wrong. Okay.
But a health concern 15 minutes before, that means, I mean, at this point, it would have had to be a heart attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of health concern causes you to cancel the show 15 minutes before? You know what I mean?
She didn't want to do it. Sheila said, I just want her concert. I'll just watch her concert on YouTube. And Mike said she needs a residency. Yeah. On an island to vacation and retire, because she's not here for y'all no more. I'm sorry. All right. Amanda Seals is calling out oh, here we go. For making controversial remarks about the Israel and Palestine protests that have been taking place on college campuses across the country. Now, during her set at Netflix as a joke fest, Tiffany said, I don't give a bleep about that bleep. I've never gone to college. Why would I care about college? Amanda Seals caught wind of her comments and posted the following video. Take a look.
I'm not sure what's going on with sis, but if you want to come to a comedy show where we do care about college and college students and folks who didn't go to college and Black liberation and Palestine and Africa and the Sudan and Congo and, you know, things that matter. If you want all of that, plus a show where you might hear about drug dealer pics, savages, hearing damn laws, Juneteenth, funny style interviewers. You want to find out what a cotton tickle is and more? Well, then maybe come to an Amanda Seals show.
All right. What are your thoughts on Tiffany's remarks and Amanda's response? Real quick, Tiffany replied to Amanda's video and wrote, I am proud of you, even if you hate me. You just showed me how big I really am. I curse you with joy. Oh, and stop being a bully. It's not cute on you. Al, what do you think?
Oh, I'm torn because you guys know I love both of these women. I love the fact that they are two very strong-willed, very successful Black female comics. And that alone, I tilt my hat to. You know, I'm an educator and I work at HBCU. I work in the college system, so I can never support anybody that says F college and who tries to diminish the college experience. Now, I do understand that Tiffany is Jewish and this is a sensitive matter for her, but I didn't like her comments, and that's coming from a friend to a friend. Now, it relates to Amanda. Amanda took this opportunity. She saw something she didn't like, and she took it as an opportunity to promote herself. How does that make you feel? Well, as a friend, because Tiffany made it seem like they are supposed to be friends, as a friend, I can see where Tiffany feels a little taken advantage of. Like she said, sis, why don't you just pick up the phone and call me and have a conversation with me? Now that I know that you're riding on my back for clicks or likes, that's where the problem is for me. And can you honestly be mad that she feels that way if she feels like that was Amanda's intent?
Okay, Armand, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm just more excited to hear what you're going to say, but I'll get into it. For me, like, whether you agreed with what Tiffany Haddish said or not, that was her set, that was her comedy show. You know, we don't have to agree with that, but at the end of the day, you don't go Amanda Seals and then try to sell your own show off the back of my show. You're a weirdo for that. And then you'll get online. This is the same woman that'll get online and act like, why am I not being invited? Why do people not like me? I stand up for people. I'm autistic. The people don't get it. But then you do this kind of backhanded throw the rock and hide your hand weird. And I'm not a big Tiffany Haddish fan. I'll be clear about it. But I'm with Tiffany Haddish on this point. Don't use me to come and try to promote your entire comedy tour. Because Amanda Seales, she's always the victim. Is she the victim here? You know, and so she'll be the same one that's mad and saying, well, Black people didn't show up for me and come to my comedy show after I tried to jump on Tiffany Haddish's bandwagon. Like, she's a joke. And one day, hopefully, everybody wakes up and sees it. She's full of crap.
You're saying Amanda's full of crap.
Amanda is full of BS, period.
I'm gonna say this about Tiffany. I just had a conversation with her recently about friendship, and she actually went off on the Breakfast Club recently. I encourage you all to go back and watch what she said about people claiming her as friends that are not really her friends. I think this is something she has a lot to say about people in the industry saying, like, in her face, being kind, and then really running their mouth about her behind her back. That is something she just really said on the Breakfast Club, and she expressed to me when I saw her. I think she's just frustrated with like the going-ons and the fakeness of Hollywood. So I think she probably would have appreciated a phone call from Amanda if they are in fact friends. So I think that's what she was saying. Now, do I agree with what Tiffany Haddish said about college and all that kind of stuff about what's going on in the conflict? No, but I'm also not Jewish, so I have different sensitivities. What I do think what would be good in this sense, because it seems like everyone's getting into beefs, I think these two might need to sit down and maybe do like maybe a podcast episode, and not like for entertainment, but to really kind of hash through it, because the back and forth is not cute and it could get ugly. And, you know, I think that there's things about like the streets that Tiffany's up on that she can kind of like enlighten Amanda with, and like girl code. And I think there's things about the conflicts and the college system that Amanda could enlighten Tiffany about, and maybe they can find some common ground, because I don't want to see these two fighting. I think it would be a mess. I really do. But I do think that I think they probably should sit down and have a conversation about it. Talking to each other, and this is exactly what Tiffany was expressing when I saw the Whoopi thing. She's not feeling people keeping her name in their mouths. Okay, we have something. We have some chat. Sierra said Amanda is very smart, but I think she wakes up to find a problem.
Yeah.
And Monica said we need y'all friend Tiffany Haddish on the show to find out what's going on with no questions off them. You know what? We're gonna reach out to Tiffany Haddish and see if she will come on the show. That would be definitely entertaining. And Trenton said Amanda Seales has a lot in common with Candace Owens, but we can have the conversation later. Do you think that? Do you think she's similar to Candace Owens? I don't know.
I just think she's a joke, and I just feel like she inserts herself, and then when people come back at her, or then the publications are not to her favor, then all of a sudden she's a victim. You don't have to insert yourself in every conversation. This conversation did not need to happen with her, period. Because she didn't even talk about, you know, college and the war with all of that. She didn't talk about any of that. She didn't talk about the protests. She started to promote her own comedy tour.
Amanda Seales, Tiffany Haddish, you're both invited to TGIF. Maybe we could broker the peace and bring the two sides together as one here. We can do that work. Okay, maybe not. Oh, maybe. Okay. Coming up next, Whoopi Goldberg gets candid about marriage. And later, the family of a slain 23-year-old airman is demanding answers, and we want them to keep it locked. We'll be right back.
Scene 1 of 3, take 1.
I thought we'd be on the same page about this, and we're not.
How do I know the way I'm going to respond to it?
I want you to get the vaccine because I want you to be safe.
What if you end up in the hospital? That's what I'm scared of.
If you was to die, man, that would literally kill me, man.
Can I hug you?
Yeah. If it made you feel that way, bro, I would probably do. I love you, man. I love you too.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Welcome back to TGIF Soulmates. Drop some flames in the chat if you still rocking with us from day one. A few day ones, put some flames in the chat and show your favorite show some love. We would love to see that. All right, soulmates, we have some exciting news. TGIF is officially on Instagram. That's right, not just Foxhole, but specifically TGIF. So go ahead and make sure you stop what you are doing and keep up with the latest tea by following us at TGIF on Foxhole. That's TEAGIF on Foxhole, and hit our DMs, and you can definitely keep up with what we're doing and what we got going on, and when we have contests and all kinds of stuff. So please follow the new Instagram page specifically for TGIF. All right, y'all, let's get back to the show. Whoopi Goldberg is revealing more of what fans can expect from her upcoming memoir, including her thoughts on marriage. During a recent interview, Whoopi said, "I don't care how you feel. It's terrible. You know, when you're married to somebody, you have to be invested in how they're feeling." The EGOT winner went on to say that she's only invested in her kids, grandkids, son-in-law, and friends, not a relationship. Can you blame her? And how do you guys feel about marriage? Al, I'm going to you first.
I love this for Whoopi. I love this for Whoopi. She always has been consistent when she talks about relationships and when she talks about marriage. She has always never worried about what this may mean on her status in Hollywood. And to be honest, it has never affected her commentary. It never affected her jokes, and it's affected the support of her fans. Her fans love the transparency that she offers, and that's what they attach themselves to and continue to lift her up. I like it that she has demystified this whole thing, especially in the entertainment industry, that you have to be married in order to be successful. And she's saying that's not true. And in her case, marriage has never been that love thing. She said that no one she married has been someone that she has loved or was in love with. And I think that's okay to be that transparent and that honest.
Whoopi has been married 3 times, and she seems much happier now that she's not married. Umar, what do you think about this?
Listen, when you're get to a particular age and you've got kids and grandkids and you've tried it 3 times, at this point, you're like, listen, I don't want to do this no more. It doesn't work for me. So, at some point, I think you get to a point where it's like, hey, I don't have to do this. I don't want to worry about where your toothbrush is. I don't want to know if you're shuffling papers while I'm talking. I don't want to be here. I don't want to think. I don't want to have to worry about those things. I just want to focus on me and my family and what I got going on. And I don't want the headache. If you want to do a drive-by and hit me up here and there, I'll take that. And then you go on your way. So, I think more people are going to be doing that, especially when you're happy and you're successful. You're not really searching for those other things. So shout out to her.
And she got the money, right? Where she doesn't need any of that stuff. She's like, it's just when I want to. And she really was like, you can come through for a hit and run, but you can't spend the night. Like, you got to get up out of here. I don't know where you got to go, but you got to get up out of here. And I was like, you know what? For years, women have made to feel guilty or less than a woman if they did not have a husband or if they didn't have kids. Like, that's all that we're on this earth for. But when men are 40, 50 years old and they're not married, they're somehow debonair and sexy. They're eligible bachelors. And it's just not the case. Like, things are definitely changing and roles are changing here. Like, when we're getting further and further away from traditional roles. I like it. I said when I was younger, I used to be like, I want to get married, but I kind of still want separate houses. I like space, and I feel like familiarity breeds contempt. And a lot of times when you're around the people all the time, some people kind of get envious of you, or they just feel a kind of way, or you lose the spark. I still like to be taken out on dates. I still like to get random flowers. I still like to, feel like this is a special thing. Not like, oh, you again, roll over, you again. Don't be farting around me. Don't get too calm around me. I want you to still feel like you got to be on your best behavior. I want that. I'm sorry. If that's unrealistic, then so be it. Whoopi said it's okay. So that's all that matters. Okay, we have some comments. Brandon says, it seems like Whoopi doesn't even like people. Chris said, I'm pretty sure Whoopi has a no candy go away sign on her house during trick or treat. I wonder, does she get lonely or yearn for love, but just threw the towel in? Well, I think a lot of people throw in the towel after they tried it and they weren't successful. Like, what are you going to keep on doing the same thing? Well, isn't that the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome? You're insane. All right. Well, since we are on the subject of marriage, Queen Naja is under fire for telling a woman to leave her man after the lady revealed that she's been with her boyfriend for 10 years and still are not married. Queen Naja's boyfriend asked her what she would do in that situation, and she replied, yes, I would definitely leave. 10 years is crazy. It is. All right. What are your thoughts on how many years should a person be together before discussing marriage? Armand, you're in a relationship here, right?
Yeah, I just feel like, listen, when you know when it's time to marry that person, and I just feel like, what is the rush? You know, a lot of people run to get married just to divorce. Like, at the end of the day, it's a piece of paper. And I'd rather feel like I know that you are my person because I only intend on doing it one time. You know, it's easier to get married, but it's real expensive and hard to get divorced. And so for me, I'm not here to just go rush into it. So however long it takes, what's the rush? You get what I'm saying? So if it comes down to it, we'll get married. If not, then we won't. That's just how I look at it.
Queen Naja and her boyfriend have been together for almost 10 years and they have a son together. I know I got married after like a couple months because he could not help himself. It didn't like it. It ended horribly wrong and we don't even speak. But Al, you were married. How long did it take before you got married? Did you feel any kind of pressure, like a time thing, or just like, you know, because I know it's usually a lot of other people that jump into a relationship, like, you know, how long y'all gonna date and all that kind of stuff. What about you? Do you think it's a time thing or what?
No, I think it depends. I think it varies from person to person. For me personally, I date to marry. And I'm old school, right? So that's definitely not the concept that a lot of these new age individuals, millennials, Z generation, they just don't think like that. For me, 10 years is too long. But I will have to say this, Queen Naja, I really enjoyed this podcast with you and your boyfriend, a long-term boyfriend, whatever it is. But I think she threw a little shade when she said, I'm going to leave him, especially because they've been dating almost 10 years. So I almost felt like that was a little dig putting him on notice. And I thought that was cute and fun. But I will say this, whether you're gay, straight, trans, or non-binary, in my opinion, 10 years is too long. If dating is for the intent to get married, you shouldn't have to take that long to figure out if you are interested enough to make that commitment. Now, if you're dating to build some type of long-term commitment to each other, then you don't have to get married. If you feel comfortable building and having assets with someone and it's not legally binding, then you don't have to get married. And a lot of young people are saying, listen, I don't want the commitment like that. So we're going to build and we're not going to get married. To each its own, but it's not for me.
Jared said, this reminds me of Kyla Pratt. She's been engaged to her boyfriend for like 15 years. Shanice says, take a page out of Oprah's book. She's been with Stedman for 99 years. And people are reimagining the marriage thing. I know people, the football player, Tony Gonzalez, I remember he got married, but was never legally married to his beautiful wife, October. I remember there was talk about him having like a commitment ceremony. Like people are kind of shying away from that, but whatever like works between y'all. But if one person definitely wants to be married and you know this and you're not doing it, and 10 years later, I think that's a long time. I've definitely had to end relationships about the timing of like, because I wanted to for a long time. That was my one reason why me and KJ broke up, was I wanted to get married and he had already been through it and was kind of scarred by it. But other than that, a great human being. But listen, 10 years, you don't need 10 years to know. You don't need, I think 2 years is a long time. And I'm 1 foot in the grave. I'm 1 foot in I'm in fourth quarter right now, or at least the end of the third quarter. I'm not waiting 10 years. Like you get 2 years of dating me before we gotta do something. You gotta chat or get off the pot. All right. In other marriage news, if you guys were married and later divorced, would you mind if your ex kept your last name? What do you think about that, Armand?
Oh yeah. I feel like that only happens when, like, in celebrity world, right? I mean, I don't see why my ex would keep my name. That would just be dumb. I just feel like I wouldn't want to keep your name. You shouldn't want to keep my name. Move on, get a new life. But I feel like for business though, celebrities do it because usually that name is the brand, so it's more profitable. They make money with that name. So at that point, I'm not keeping it because I'm emotionally attached to you. I'm keeping that because now that's how I make my money.
That's a good point. Like if it's a celebrity, of course it helps to be such and such as X, right? Like certain names are brand, Murphy, Mayweather, Washington. Of course I get it. Or I think if you have kids with that man, and I think there's nothing wrong with keeping that same last name. So your kids and you have the same last name. I don't think that's a bad thing, because like it gets embarrassing when you go to school and it's like you have a different last name than your kids and people start looking at you sideways. They kind of give you that baby mama energy when you were a wife. Al, what do you think about the keeping of the last name?
I think what's important for me is that the woman in a man-woman dynamic, because the woman usually takes the man's name when she gets married or enters into that marriage. I think for me, I would let her make the decision, because women for a long time put a lot into the marriage. And if she wants to keep the last name because that makes her feel good, because she has put a lot of time into that marriage, then keep the last name. Also, women who have been in relationships for a long time have kids, so they keep their last name for the purpose of kids. They do business. They built a business and a brand around their business with that last name. For them to just all of a sudden have to be forced to give that up, I think is unrealistic. And lastly, a lot of people with public personas have that last name and they built a public persona. And for you to just pull that public persona out from under them, like in the instance of Shawnee O'Neal, just wouldn't make a lot of sense. I like how Shawnee O'Neal has handled it, though. She kept that last name for years. And now that she's met a man that she is truly committed to, she's saying, look, that last name, I'm now have no more need for it, and I'm going to take on the Henderson. So I'm in support of whatever the woman decides, because she has a say, because she gave it up when she married me.
When I got married, I didn't change my last name at all, so we were pretty much doomed from the beginning. I was like, my last name's better.
Not even a hyphen? You didn't do like a nothing? You didn't add it to the end?
Married in Vegas in jeans, so it didn't really feel that real yet. Yeah. All right, y'all. Coming up next, the family of a slain airman is demanding answers. And later, Dr. Umar makes an interesting point about emotionally damaged people. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
TGIF.
Can you imagine 30 million people walking around sexually frustrated because they can't get to their porn?
You're looking at one right now. I'm going to say this.
Every weekday.
I'll never live in Texas again. It's the worst.
What's your favorite porn, Armand?
Oh, I'm not getting into that. My God.
On Fox Soul.
Now, what's yours?
And listen, don't judge me, okay? Massage porn.
That's boring now. Give me a good three-way gang.
Oh, I knew it was going to come out.
Yes, yes.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
Welcome back to TGIF. All right, y'all. We are here to always help make your life just a little bit better here at TGIF. All right, y'all. Every year, we all pledge to save more and spend less. But how are you supposed to save when you're paying inflated prices for everyday essentials like gas and groceries? You can't just cut those purchases out of your budget. But now, thanks to my 2024 money back hack, you can get cash back from them with Upside. Upside is an incredible app for anyone who buys gas, groceries, or dines out. With Upside, I can get cash back on every purchase. It's my secret weapon for staying on track with my savings goals. Now, Upside offers offsets inflated prices by giving you cash back on purchases. All right, Al, when and where did you use Upside?
So, I don't drive, so the gas thing doesn't work for me, but the grocery thing does. And I'm telling you, it's very convenient. It tells you exactly how close they are to you, wherever you're located. So, and I travel a lot. So for me, I can get to a place that's going to give me money back when I visit it. And what I'm going to do with the extra money? Buy more groceries. That's what I'm going to do with the money. And that works out for me because I feel like the loyalty that I give to the app, they reward me for it. And to me, that's a win-win situation.
How easy is the app to use? Is it difficult?
No, it's very easy. I mean, I promise you, if I can use it, everybody, and I am technology challenged, you guys will have no problem with it.
Okay, I was going to ask you, what do you plan to do with all your cash back? But you already said you're going to buy more groceries and fill up that refrigerator with your Upside savings. All right, good to know. To get started, download the free Upside app. Use my promo code T and get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. 25 cents, that is a lot. That is great. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside, then pay as usual with a credit or debit card. Follow the steps in the app and get paid. Download the free Upside app and use promo code T to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using promo code T. This is a great app to use. And listen, we could all use a little bit of help with these inflated prices, and every little thing helps, and it actually builds up quite to quite a nice amount of money. Promotional considerations furnished by Upside. Go ahead and get it. All right, let's get back to some topics. The family of 23-year-old U.S. Airman Roger Fortson is demanding answers after he was tragically killed by a sheriff's deputy at his apartment door. The sheriff was responding to a complaint about a domestic dispute with an unidentified woman, which led the officer to Roger's unit. Now, the deputy claimed he knocked on the door and announced himself 3 times before Roger opened the door while holding a gun to his side. The officer told Roger to drop the gun and fired 4 rounds, which led to his death. I don't know if y'all saw the video. I did. What are your thoughts on this tragedy, Al? What do you think?
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Where is the outrage is where this story should actually live. And I'm very serious about this. Where is the outrage? Where's the protest? Where's the NAACP? Where's the global community rallying behind this serviceman getting shot? Where are all those people that supported Black Lives Matters and Rodney King? This is a serviceman. This is somebody who gives their life to serving this country, to serve and to protect. And this is how we treat him. This is 110% unacceptable. And anybody that's not upset after what they saw from that video clearly don't understand the disparities that exist for Black men in America. It shouldn't be an investigation. It should be an immediate refiring. It should be an immediate protest. It should be an immediate everything. Nobody who gives their life to this country should be treated like that. And he's only being treated like that because he's Black, period. And I said it.
Armand, do you see the video?
No, I didn't see the video, but the story is sad. Now, so maybe you guys can help me out there. I didn't see the video. So for me, I was kind of torn because obviously this was a mistake. He went to the wrong house. The guy was there alone. He was on FaceTime with his girlfriend. But my thing is, like, if the sheriff announced himself, like, do you really think it's smart to open the door with a gun being a Black man? Like, you get what I'm saying? Is there a peephole? Is there a window you could have looked to see? Like, was it a police officer, before you opened the door? Because I just think that opening the door with a gun, at some point, you're asking for that almost from a police officer that, is insensitive or doesn't care or ready to shoot. You get what I'm saying? So while it's sad, it's kind of like, when you came to the door with a gun, what are they supposed to do? Especially if they're responding to a violent crime happening inside. Like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be a little bit objective because it's like, if you open a door with a gun with me and I'm a police officer, I might think to shoot too.
Well, I think there are protocols to this. Number one, he opened the door when the cop stepped away from the door. He wasn't in front of the door. He heard a disturbance at his door, banging, loud announcement. He didn't know why anyone would be banging and loud on his door, so he went to get his gun because he didn't know what was going on. When he went to the peephole, there was nobody in the peephole. He opened his door. The police officer came back after the door was open and saw that he had a gun in his hand. It's not illegal to protect yourself. It's not not illegal to have a registered gun. Therefore, the officer has a protocol to follow, which is drop your gun. His gun was not up in any direction that crossed any type of threat to that officer. That officer didn't even give him a chance to say anything. He saw the gun, he overreacted, and he shot because he felt like he had the ability to do it. And that's the problem.
So the video, as soon as he opens the door, he's shot. There's no command. There's no like, hey, there's nothing. I've seen white people with guns and knives, naked, running around, taking police on wild goose chases where they are able to somehow keep their cool and not overreact and be able to take this person in. We have people shooting up churches and killing 9 Black people in the South, right? And somehow they get taken to Burger King and no one is freaking out about that. But this man in his home, and the police did do that. They went in front of the door, then they stepped away. So if I'm looking out the door and if I didn't hear you say that you were the police, which I don't know. I don't know if I didn't hear that part, but who knows what's going on in his life? Who knows if he's just nervous? If he came to the door with a gun, I think it's safe to say he did not know that it was the police. No Black man's coming to the door.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the police story. I do not believe that they properly announced themselves. I think they was like doing that. And then probably as soon as he opened the door, then they stepped away from the people. Then he opens the door like, wait, what? And then bam, I got a reason to shoot you. I believe in entrapment. I believe we've seen enough from our police departments to know that it is corrupt in a lot of levels. And sometimes they just feel like going out there and hunting Black people. This is not, but if he knew the cops were at the door and he had the gun, I hear you, man. I'm totally with you. If he didn't know, and why would the cops go away from the people then come back? I don't really know. That seems kind of weird to me. We have comments. Mike said, I think we see it too often. We become desensitized. Erica said, it's crazy that the police can fear for their lives, but even with their weapons and privilege, we can't fear for ours. 1,000%.
Wow, whoever said that, you hit the nail on the head. There's nothing about this is okay. Absolutely nothing.
They expect people that do not have experience with weapons, with police, with commands to behave in a perfect manner, giving zero grace. Meanwhile, police officers who are allegedly trained and screened before they get the job get all the grace. Like, well, they were scared, but right. Civilians not allowed to be scared. You have to be 100% in line.
We have reported on this show a woman, not of color, going into a police station, shooting up the police station, and lived through it. Shooting up the police station at the police station and lived through it because they didn't want to cause her any harm. I can't.
I just wish he wouldn't have went to the door with the gun. And I get it. You're protecting yourself. But at the end of the day, he probably would have did a better job protecting himself if he didn't have the gun, because some people will say, well, he had to protect himself, but it didn't work. The gun, you having the gun ended up in you dying. So I almost would have rather him gotten beat up or gotten robbed if that was the case, and just had to go run
shot.
Or had to, or not really got, well, he was going to get shot regardless. Clearly.
What?
So what I'm saying is, you got to listen. What I'm trying to say is, if you come to the door with no gun, you're pretty much saying like he went there to protect himself because something bad could have happened. So he had the weapon there. But I'm saying whether he had the weapon or not, he was going to get shot. I mean, something bad was going to happen. So he had more of a chance to survive had he not had the gun. You don't get that?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Well, maybe it'll make sense to you a little bit later, but it won't. He didn't protect, baby. He didn't protect him. Make no sense to me. Well, it doesn't make no sense to me because you didn't protect yourself by having the gun. You didn't win.
You mean saying
we live in a racist society where a Black man who is licensed to carry cannot carry a gun in his house to protect himself against a disturbance that he's not sure what's going on. And when he checks the peephole and there's no one at the peephole, it gives him more thought that something bad is going on. So he has a right to carry his gun to protect himself. And when he opened the door, he has a right to have the gun. It's in a state where to carry is legal. So the police officer has a protocol that he has to follow, especially if you're at the wrong residence. Period.
I think right to carry laws are a setup for Black people. I think they pick and choose. Right to carry is not for Black people. Listen to me when I say this. Right to carry is not for Black people. It's for white people. because rarely do we get the same grace. When we see Philando Castro, when he was in his car, he had a right to carry. He was in a right to carry state. He told the police officers, "I have a gun." They blasted him and killed him. They did not care. They will use any excuse to kill you, even if you are in a right to carry state, not pointing at the police officers. If they want to go in there, they on 10. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and they're gonna get away with it.
Right. And at the end of the day, he didn't protect himself.
Yeah, he didn't.
He died.
Go ahead and vote.
He wasn't able to protect himself with the gun. So
and if you think
he
this
died,
is bad,
still.
go ahead and vote for Trump in this next election.
Crazy.
He has just announced, he just said he will make it where police officers cannot be convicted for what they're doing, for what they do on the job. He wants it where they can just do anything they want. They already have done anything they wanted, but we got about a few convictions ever since 2020 and George Floyd. Watch what happens if he gets in. He wants to make it where police have zero. They don't have to account for anything. All right, we're going to go to break. Keep it locked because coming up next, Dr. Umar reveals a theory on emotionally damaged people. And later we're playing a fun game of hit or miss. Stick around.
You know how to fry
chicken?
No, I don't.
You got no.
Give me that black card back.
TGIF.
It's not about blackness. I don't make any fried foods, okay?
Boo!
The chat is going in about this fried chicken. Lynette19 said, I am blackity black and fried chicken is not my favorite go-to meal. Stop with the stereotypes, okay?
Live and interactive.
Oh, Al, you don't even cook, please.
Fried chicken, fried fish. Come on, baby.
On Fox Soul.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
All right, y'all, welcome back to TGIF. Dr. Umar recently shared his thoughts about promiscuous people. He said emotionally damaged people are always sexually promiscuous. Let me say this again. If you are traumatized, if you are emotionally damaged, you are promiscuous. And you want to know why? Emotionally traumatized people require constant validations from others. What are your thoughts on his remarks? And can you relate to this? Armand, what do you think?
I guess I could see that being true, but that's just to say, like, it's everybody. I mean, I don't know, but I could see how that manifests in people's lives, you know, being emotionally traumatized causes them to be hoarse. I could see it. So I see it.
Okay. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of what he's saying makes a lot of sense to me. And the only word I don't like is always and all, because there are people that work very hard on their mental health. So you can't say people can't correct it. I think you could say generally, maybe if he said generally, he would have more support, but I can definitely understand where he's coming from and what he's saying.
Yeah, you can't paint everybody with the same brush because some people manifest in different ways. Some people seek validation by being an overachiever. Like they trying to impress people, trying to get positive feedback, being obsessed with social media. Hello. You know what I mean? Like those are other ways, maybe not being necessarily promiscuous. I think that's like a broad, like to paint everybody that's been through some trauma to say that that's what they do. I don't agree with that, Dr. Umar. I do believe some people, but I do think it can manifest in different ways. Not everyone's willing to just jump in bed with everybody, but I think there's other ways that people deal with their trauma. And yeah, I agree as far as the word always or just making it like an absolute, because it's not.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, coming up, we're playing a fashionable game of hit or miss. Stay tuned.
You know how to fry
fried chicken?
No, I don't.
You ain't got no.
Give me that black card back.
TGIF.
It's not about blackness. I don't make any fried foods, okay?
Boo!
The chat is going in about this fried chicken. Lynette19 said, I am blackity black, and fried chicken is not my favorite go-to meal. Stop with the stereotypes, okay?
Live and interactive.
Oh, Al, you don't even cook, please.
Fried chicken, fried fish. Come on, baby.
On Fox Soul.
When I got the opportunity to get her, there wasn't no choice. I told myself, I'm gonna take custody of my daughter. It's my baby. That's what we're supposed to do as men. Take care of our home, build a foundation, you know what I'm saying? Love, our money, she's my purpose. I'm here to walk with her, hold her hand until she can walk alone. Ain't nothing like being a father in this world.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out.
All right, welcome back, Soulmates. For those who missed the earlier announcement in the show, we have some exciting news. TGIF is officially on Instagram. Now you can keep up with the latest tea by following us at TGIF on Fox Soul. That's TGIF on Fox Soul. Let's get back to the show. All right, y'all. In honor of the 35th annual GLAAD Media Awards, we're going to play a fashionable game of hit or miss. All right, y'all, let's cue the music. First up, we have Jennifer Hudson. Hit or miss?
What I can see, I definitely like the hit. I think it's a hit. I love the fact that she has her shoulders out. Her arms look amazing. Her hair looks good from what I can tell. And the silver, I guess that platinum is in. And that's the color of the season. I'm going to give J. Hud a definite hit.
Armand?
I think she looks nice. It's a hit. It's nice.
And she got snatched. Look how small she is now. She is tiny. All right, next we have Don Lemon and Tim Malone. Hit or miss? Armand, let's go to you first.
Oh, I love their suits. I love the white suit. Yeah, I love the way it fits, the way it's tailored. So I'm gonna definitely say hit on that.
Al?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's peach. I
Is
like
it
the
peach? I can't really
combination of between peach and black. I think it's a hit. Don Lemon usually knows how to keep it in the lines, and he usually plays it safe and he looks good. I'm gonna give him a hit here.
I like both their suits. I think they're like not doing too much. I feel like when people go way too tight or way too big, it's just like, oh, you're doing too much. I think this looks nice, classy, elegant, and they look like money. They look
not
rich.
Peach, a pink Armand, not peach. Pink?
Yeah,
Is that pink,
I
Claudia?
can't even see it. Look white.
It's like a blush. Let's call it blush.
Blush.
All right, we have Young Miami. Hit or miss? Hit or miss?
Okay, for me, I'm going to give, this is not Young Miami. Young Miami, I want to see dynamic. I want to see different. I want to see body. I want to see legs. I want to see it all. This is a little boring for Young Miami. So overall, for Young Miami and her style, I'm going to give it her a miss.
All right, Armand?
It's absolutely a miss for me. This just looks ghetto.
Ghetto.
Yeah, it just look like ghetto.
I think it's giving the funeral of Puff Daddy's positive image in society. So it's giving funeral, like the wife of the deceased man. Like Miami is fly. She's fun. She's definitely like usually takes fashion risks. And for this, I do think this is a bit boring for her. I don't think it's a bad dress. I don't think it's a bad dress, but I think for her, like she's so young and like popping, I think she could have like done a little better. But it definitely is giving the somber moment of, you know, rest in peace, Diddy's career. All right, what do you think about Uma Thurman? Hit or miss? Uma Thurman, hit or miss? Oh, I'm going first on this one. This is ugly as hell. I hate it. I mean, Little Bo Peep is giving, I'm so rich, I don't have to even try anymore. It's giving, okay, let me help. How about my friend who's a student in design school? I hate it. I think it's ugly. Al, what do you think?
It's not my style, but being that it's the GLAAD Awards, which everyone is supposed to be able to express their creativity the way they want to without judgment, I think she's definitely done it. I think regularly we would all say this looks crazy, but for her, this is an expression and I'll support it. I'll give her a thumbs up.
Expression of ugh. Armand, what do you think?
I would have been with it if they would have got rid of one of the layers of the middle piece is throwing me up. Yeah,
the middle piece is throwing.
It's unnecessary. Yeah. So, but it's not bad, but it's just the middle piece. So I'm gonna give it a miss just for the middle.
Umar, you got that model body, tall, slim. Throw some rainbows on something else. This is ugly to me. But you know what? We all have our opinions, so I will not chat upon y'all's opinions. I just don't agree. All right, we have Wilson Cruz, hit or miss?
Oh,
I'm gonna give him a hit. I'm gonna give him a hit. I like the open shirt. I like the black suit, like you said, not too tight, not too loose. I like it, and I love the smile, and his skin looks flawless.
Oh my.
Yeah, I second that. He looks great. Is it like a satin suit, or I can't really tell the material, but it looks good. It looks shiny. He looks great. The skin looks good. He looks like he's glowing. He looks happy. Face looks nice. Looks great.
I was just telling someone yesterday, I love this look on men, like a black suit with a black shirt, just unbuttoned. It just looks like sexy, not trying too hard, and it looks like sophisticated. I think this is one of my favorite looks on men. Love it. Jennifer Lawrence, hit or miss?
Oh, she looks good. I like the slip.
Yeah, definitely a hit. I don't know what was it. Was it all black? What's the color? I'm just so confused. Ladies at the GLAAD Awards usually don't wear all black. They're usually very colorful. But yeah, the way this looks, hair is there, shoulders there, leg is there, face is beat. Looks good to me. Thumbs up.
It's one of my favorite cuts. I love that cut. It's a little boring for the GLAAD Awards, I think, but it's not bad. It's definitely not. I can't give it a miss. I'm just like, okay, it's cute. Next we have Jonathan Burke, hit or miss?
I think he looked good. I don't really like that suit.
I'm gonna give him a hit. I like the color. I like the length of the jacket, and just he's handsome. So it's very hard to give him a miss. I mean, he's wearing it well. He's not doing too much for me. I'm gonna give him a hit. This is fine.
I think it looks good. I mean, I can't give him a miss on this one. And I do like the color. All right, that was fun. Let's get back to some topics. Kimora Lee Simmons is finally opening up about her 21-year-old daughter, Aoki, being spotted in public kissing a 65-year-old Vittorio Assaf. Take a look at this exclusive clip from TMZ.
Did you know that she had an older gentleman at the time, or was it a surprise to you when you saw the pictures?
It's a loaded question. I don't think she had anything. I think that was just she's a young, pretty girl, and I think that we don't think that the toads that we may kiss is going to be like broadcasting the thing. And I personally feel a little bit like she was set up, which is why I try to teach the girls, right?
What do you mean by that?
Well, there's definitely an age dynamic there, and I just feel like, I feel like she was set up a little bit.
She calls him a toad. What are your thoughts on Kimora alleging that her daughter was set up? Armand, you think this was a setup or like just an embarrassing moment?
I don't know what that means, but I love her. Come on, mama, you better go protect your girl. You better do that PR move. And that's what a mom's supposed to do. She was set up. We don't know. That's a toad. She was set up. I love it. I loved it.
Al, what do you think?
Hey, listen, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. She's like her mother. She likes older men. I was rocking with her all the way until she said her daughter was set up. Your daughter wasn't set up. That's what your daughter likes. She talked about it before the picture came out on her Instagram. She talked about it when her picture came out on Instagram. She talked about it after the picture came out. So set up, Kimora, and you know we family, we friends. I don't know, but I do like how you defend your daughter like Armand said.
Well, why don't you call her and get her on the show, Al? If that's your friend, call her and get her on the show. And
Sure, you want her on the show?
Yes, I like her energy.
Okay,
let's do that.
Kimora is over the top, like always.
Let's
Call her, Al.
Because I want to ask her, woman to woman, I'm here for her comments about calling him a toad. I just thought that was hilarious. And does she think he set her up as far as like getting the cameras to post that picture? Maybe he's trying to make an ex-wife mad, or what was that about? So if you can get Kimora on the show, I would love to have her on. Even if we could just talk about, you know, May, December romances. I think that'd be fun. Like, let's do it. You're on it. You're going to get Kimora, and I'm going to get Tiffany on the show. Let's make this happen.
Here.
Let's get it.
All right.
And Armand, you get Nicki Minaj. Okay.
Right.
Al Reynolds and Armand Wiggins for joining me tonight. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Stay tuned for Fox Soul Face Off. We will see you back here tomorrow. Kimora, we want you on here.
You got the jokes. You go on a comedy tour next, huh?